Welcome. Welcome to this live stream. Let me see. Okay. I'm just trying to use the system that my beautiful team has set up for the first time, and I'm hoping that it's going to work. I'm hoping also that I'm going to be able to see you guys when you start to pop up. So let me try it. Let me see how it goes. I'm here for a very specific purpose. I had today, I'm going to be doing these lives regularly. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Sanya Bari. I am a relationship therapist and coach, and I help people who have gotten deeply, deeply hurt in love, whether it's a love with a person, whether it's love bringing a project through, or just getting deeply hurt in doing something that they absolutely love to do. And that hurt has bothered them. It is holding them, and it's not allowing them to be freely living the way they want to live. I help people release beyond the levels that are available to most people. So here I am having these conversations. I'm also the creator of the Love Clarity Method, the founder of the Wise Loving membership group, and the TH School, which is a school for transformational healing, which is about to start in January, which I'm so excited about. So here I am. I today my topic is very specific. I had a question yesterday by one of the people who attended yesterday's live, and their question was very specific. They said that I have gone through something very, very painful. My sister has passed on. I have my own two children, and I have her children. I'm raising them. And the thing that's keeping me alive is the fact that I have to care for these children, that this person feels completely derailed, broken, and feels like that they'll never be the same. They feel very, very hurt. And the only thing they have in their life are the children that are keeping them alive, but they don't know how to function. They feel like that death has completely paused their life. And their question specifically when they wrote it to me was that how do I restart my life after something like this has happened, after my life has gotten derailed this way? So I'm going to tell you a beautiful story by Dr. Viktor Frankl. And the story is written in his book, Man's Search for Meaning. That's his Dr. Viktor Frankl. And the story takes place in, it is an actual story that this is what happened to him. It is his recollection from his time in Auschwitz, Germany, in the concentration camp. And he describes inhuman conditions of living. He describes that people don't have food to eat, and they don't have, they are being treated in ways that we wish and hope that no humanity is ever treated like this. And in one of the scenes, he says that they were all the prisoners were forced to work in the snow. He describes clothes were tattered. He describes that there were shoes were wrapped with cloth. They had holes in them. So these prisoners are working in the snow, and some of the guards didn't feel that that was enough, and they wanted more demeaning punishments. So they asked these very modest and modest Jewish men to take their clothes off. Not only is it going to hurt because it's going to be cold and painful, but it's also going to be psychologically demoralizing. So they asked them to take their clothes off and now work in the snow. So now these naked men are working in the snow when one of the guards notices a very thin piece of wedding band in Dr. Viktor Frankl's hands. Somehow this thin wedding band got missed in all of this. This wedding band is his last indication that there was ever a life before this as well. And he's asked to take that off, and as he begins to take that wedding band off to give it to the guard, he has this epiphany. And he says to himself, you can take away whatever you want from me, but you can never take away my right and how I choose to feel about what's happening to me. And in that moment of grace, he takes it off and he completely forgives this guard. So as I'm reading this book, and as a young person, I was very upset. I was like, what? this is terrible. This is the reason I don't read these books. I'm so upset. I don't want this card to be forgiven. I don't like it. And so I close the book. When I reread it, when I go back to it, only because it was assigned. So I realized that this naked prisoner in the middle of Auschwitz, Germany, in the middle of a concentration camp, has completely freed himself, whereas we understand the psychologies of the prisoners later. But what I'm trying to tell you is that people like him, people like Dr. Edith Egar, who wrote the book Choice, I would really recommend you read that one as well. And there are so many of these people who have literally come back from the dead to let us know, to exemplify, to demonstrate the bandwidth of human consciousness, the bandwidth of human consciousness, that you have the capacity to feel whatever you want to feel despite what's happening to you. That it is a choice, that at some point you've got to make that choice. What is the difference then between animals and humans, where if you're going to just be reactive, and it's all right, it's okay for all of us that when something happens, that in the beginning we react. But at one point, when you are done being demoralized or trapped or controlled or subjugated or imprisoned or puppeteered by the pain, by the upset that is happening, at that point, you have a choice. I have a choice. We all have a choice. All of us people have the choice to become conscious, to not go into whatever unconscious defense mechanism, to make a choice and say, I choose to see this way. I make a choice to manage my consciousness. We are not vessels that are standing in the ocean of life, being thrown around by the waves wherever we want. Dr. Viktor Frankl has a few quotes that I'm going to say to you. One of them is that between stimulus and response, there is a space. And in that space lies the human choice, which he calls the ultimate freedom, which is that you have the choice where you can choose to feel about you can choose what you want to feel about what's happening to you. That's the choice. There is that space. There is that pause. And so the directions that I'm going to give the person who asked me this question, and the person who is whoever is in such a state where pain has become so much that they are saying, how do I restart? Dr. Viktor Frankl says, you and I cannot always choose what happens to us. We cannot always choose what happens to us. I could be walking down the street, I lose my arm. But we always, I'm going to repeat this word for you, we always have a choice on how we choose to feel about what's happening to us. This is about whatever experience we're having outside us, we have the capability to create the experience we want inside us. We want to take this agency. We want to be people who are capable of changing the trajectory of your life. One might say, hey, that's really good, it's nice. But here's what I'm telling you. If you don't manage your consciousness, if you don't become somebody that if they are in a life where life keeps giving them one after another, things that are bringing them down, 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 down. If you don't at some point get up and say, no more, enough of this, and you don't start to change your consciousness inside, what the emotion that is most dominant for you is going to keep creating more of yourself, more of itself. The way I like to tell you is that it's almost like a Netflix, the way Netflix is selected, or Spotify, that whatever you keep on seeing more in your consciousness, if you keep on replaying dreadful things in your consciousness, if you keep on playing dreadful videos of things that actually happened to you, then it's almost like you're giving thumbs up to the universe. Yes, give me more of that. Give me more of that. And it's okay to begin there, but then when you see that video playing, that you shut it off and you choose something else. When you do that, you do thumbs out. You say, give me more of that. So if you're the kind of person who's been dealt a few really tough pills in your life and things keep bringing you down, and I myself have been that person, and you are done and you're like, I'm not interested in this type of a life, then what I want you to do is I want you to, at some point after you're done grieving that what's happening to you, as soon as you become conscious that I don't want this, I want you to bring into your consciousness what you really want, and I want you to change it. Change it from that point A of pain, change it to the point B of peace inside you. Even if outside you hasn't changed. What I used to say when I was younger is that when things outside me change, then I'm going to change inside. And that's not how it goes. You got to change inside first. When things keep coming and you feel like you can't get out of them, you got to change the inside first. You have to be like, I'm going to bring into my consciousness that which I want. And you keep giving the consciousness a thumbs up. Yes, give me more of this. Give me more of this. And then consciousness gives you more of this. Just because you've been seeing a lot of horror movies in your consciousness and your consciousness gives you the recommendations of more horror movies to watch, you don't have to watch them. Guess what? You could just swipe them and say, no, thank you. I'm done watching horror movies. I'd like to see comedy. I'd like to see rom-com. I'd like to see this. I'd like to see that. Whatever. But you make the choice. Understand, you are not a minion. You and I are not a minion. We have a choice. What is the difference between somebody who is an animal? And animals have choices too. Especially some animals are extremely intelligent. What is the difference between them and us if we don't have the capacity to choose? So I invite all of us to do this, to make choices about what goes on in our consciousness. Thank you so much for watching. If you would like to know when my lives are running, please follow me on Instagram, on all of my other channels, which is I think the ones that where I stream is Facebook, and I do it on YouTube and TikTok. So if you follow me there, you're going to get the notification. Please send me questions because I answer them this way. And I'm so grateful for you to be here. I don't know, I wasn't really able to see your feed right now. If you were asking me things, I'll hear it later. But I'm still trying to work with this new system. But thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of my day today. And I will see you tomorrow. Goodbye.